right, welcome to Coffee with Markus. This is episode 108, and today I'll show you what's happening in the markets the day after the presidential election so that you know what's going on. And I want to show you how I am trading this market right now. Does this sound good? Okay, then let's get started. This show is about real money and real trades. I'll show you the trading strategies that I personally trade, the tools that I use to trade my own accounts, and we will talk about the right mindset of a trader. Now, talking about mindset, I'm going to show you how to create SRC profits. And SRC stands for systematic, repeatable, and consistent, because that is the key to long-term success in the markets. So, if you are sick of all the hype and empty promises, and you want to learn trading strategies that actually work, then click on like right now and let's get started. So it is the day after the presidential election, and what is happening in the markets? How are markets reacting to the election? Well, let's take a look at this. First of all, this morning they were rallying big. Right now, we're pulling back a little bit. I mean, the Dow was up more than 900 points. And if we switch to a 5-minute chart, you'll see that in the morning, we were just shooting straight up. And right now, we are pulling back a little bit, going into the close. The S&P 500 up 2.37%. As you can see, jumping up, same picture here. First going up all the way and then retracing right now. And also, the NASDAQ jumped up, and the NASDAQ is the leader today with 4.2%. And earlier it was up more than 5%. So why? What is happening? Well, first of all, as it appears right now, and we actually don't know yet who has won. I mean, you might have an idea or you might have an opinion. But if we look at the election results right now, we see that there's still 87 electoral votes up for grabs. And yes, we do know that Biden, apparently, this came just through 10 minutes before I came live here, wins Wisconsin. However, as you can see, the Trump's campaign manager also says that they're requesting a recount in Wisconsin. Then it seems that in Michigan right now, Biden has the lead. However, also the Trump campaign said that they will sue Michigan and basically say, where was it? I had it right here. Sue Michigan and say they need to stop counting here. So this is what's going on. But why are markets jumping? Because here's the important thing. At first, markets last week were a little bit worried about a so-called blue wave. And what does it mean? Blue wave means that we will have a Democratic president and a Democratic Congress. And so for those of you who are joining us from outside the United States, our Congress consists of two parts, which is the House of Representatives and the Senate. Now, let's take a look at this. And again, last week, it almost appeared that we could have a blue wave so that everything is Democratic. So right now with the presidency, we will see. So I just saw that, in Phoenix, they have said they will update results around 9 p.m. And I actually like Nevada. Nevada said, you know what? Yeah, we'll keep counting, but stop bothering us. We'll let you know tomorrow around noon where we stand. And until then, we will not publish any more results. So I'll go figure. So we will see what is happening there. So it is still a tight race. There's still a lot of woulda, coulda, and there are still speculations of what could possibly happen so that President Trump remains in power, and what is happening when Biden is taking over here, and how do these states have to turn out, and there's still lots of possibilities. But let's take a look at this of why we are jumping up this morning. Again, it is all about how is power being distributed. And if you look at the Senate, it seems right now, that possibly the Senate could remain Republican. So we're not quite sure yet. Again, as you can see, it is super, super tight. But it doesn't seem that we have this blue wave that the markets were fearing here. With the House of Representatives, we also see, well, this might remain Democratic. And here's the deal. And this is what traders are looking for right now, what markets are looking for right now. It seems that there is a division of the powers, right? So that not everything is in the hand of one party. Now, what does it mean? This morning, it means there could be less regulations on the big tech. I mean, the Democratic Party basically said, yeah, there will be some more regulations on big tech. And this is why today, we saw earlier today, Amazon jumping up like crazy. As you can see, Amazon up 6%. Apple also jumping up. Apple was up earlier, a little bit over 5%, now still up more than 4%. Netflix also part of being the big tech here. See, it was up earlier. It's now pulling back a little bit. Let's see where Facebook is right now. So Facebook still up 7.7%. Earlier today, it was way above 8%. Also, Google, part of big tech here, as you can see, up almost 6%, 5.8%. And then we also have Microsoft as part of the bunch, up more than 5%. So this is why right now the NASDAQ is up. Also, the NASDAQ was kind of lagging behind the S&P and the Dow. If you just look at the chart, there's a chart of a NASDAQ here. The S&P 500 had a sharper rebound from the sell-off going into the election here. And if you take a look at the S&P, so the performance basically for the week, right now 5.3%. For the Dow, it is 5.27%, and the NASDAQ catching up today. So it is in line right now with 5.62%. So pretty much catching up. A few more things regarding the voting yesterday. In California, voters seem to push for the Proposition 22. And what the heck does this mean? Well, the Proposition 22 allows that Uber and Lyft can keep classifying their drivers as independent contractors and not employees. And that was this morning a big win for the companies. They were up like 10 and 12%. So you can see Lyft pulling back here right now. Same with Uber. Uber also pulling back a little bit, but still up solid 13% here. So this is how the markets are reacting. But since right now, based on what we see here, where also right now we have the Trump campaign demanding a recount in Wisconsin and demanding in Michigan to stop counting, right? So that there's some uncertainty creeping back into the markets, and we have talked about it. What does it mean when there's uncertainty? Markets don't like uncertainty, and this is what we saw here in the NASDAQ. It's a 5-minute chart that we are looking at right now. After jumping up big, we were just teetering around, and in the S&P and Dow, we are actually going down after we reached a peak around lunchtime here. So this was around 12:30 Eastern time. We are now going down, going into the close, because it seems that it might be a few more days before we know for sure how the power will be distributed going forward. Anyhow, again, Nevada just said, you know what? We're not releasing any more updates until Thursday at noon. Now, also in other news, so this morning, and we basically, nobody heard him say this, but Senate Majority Leader McConnell said that a stimulus package should be passed by the end of the year. And as you know, right now, this is what market participants were waiting for, a stimulus package. Why? Because it still looks grim. This is the daily new cases here in the United States. And yesterday, we were up to, again, almost 95,000 new cases in a single day. And this is what traders seeing, oh my gosh. So talking about a first wave, talking about a second wave, and now here a third wave, moving the mouse so that you can see it, right? And you know that the expert Dr. Fauci basically said, well, we are positioned really, really badly going into the flu season here, going into winter. So this is what's happening. This is what's going on. So now the key question is, how do we trade this? Because I told you before the election, let's sit on our hands. Let's wait. What's happening? So this morning, for those of you who are trading the wheel strategy, and if you're new to this channel, I'll link to the strategy in the description. I have a playlist where I explain this in detail. So we had an opportunity yesterday, I told you, close out the put that we sold. So let's do a quick recap. And I'm going to switch back here to daily charts. So this is where we are talking about the TQQQ. This is the only position, the only one position that I had going into the election. So what I did is I believe it was last Thursday or last Friday, together with you, I sold the 100 put. And I was able to buy it back yesterday for a nice profit. I believe it was like a $250, $280 profit. And this was in a matter of just, like 5 days. So it was a very, very healthy premium. And I sent you an alert about this. So for those of you who are following me here, watching me, what I'm doing, you might have seen it. So this morning, when I saw that markets were up, so here's what I thought would happen. So honestly, I thought, yeah, markets are initially really super excited. And then I thought we would fill the gap. You see, this is where we opened this morning with a huge gap up. And I thought after the initial excitement, after we saw that, well, we might not have any results here for the next few days, that uncertainty creeps back. And I thought that we would be hovering around there, around the level where we opened at around 133, or maybe even moving lower. But no, we moved higher. However, here's what I did. And the alert that I issued this morning is sell a call with a strike price of 148. So let's switch over to the account. And it seems that here I have been logged out. That's okay. We're logging right back in. So here's what I did this morning. I sold this call for $2.45, meaning that I took in another $245. Now, as you know, my break even on this trade is somewhere around $132. So I initially got assigned there, and yeah, it looked ugly. At this point right here, I was down $3,000 on this trade, and we just kept selling more premium according to the rules of the wheel strategy. And as you can see, if we are jumping to this this trade here right now, even though right now we're still negative in terms of open P&L, as you can see here, overall on this trade, I'm already making money because I sold premium, I got assigned at 150, sold premium, sold premium, sold premium. I collected $2,000 in premiums, as you can see, $2,035, not including the $245 from today. So this brings up the total to approximately $2,300. And if I would close the trade right now, I would close the whole trade with a profit. Not planning to do this yet because I want to see how it plays out over the next few days. Because here's the deal. If the TQQQ keeps moving lower, I will be able to buy back the call that I sold against my position here. And if this is the case, I will keep the premium, and then I can possibly sell more puts or sell more calls if I'm getting called away. So let's talk about this. If I'm getting called away, here's what would happen. I would lose $200 off the premium that I earned. And again, today I received an additional $245. So this leaves me with still over $2,000 on this trade. Now, as I said, this is an account I started trading like 3 months ago. So on this account, I already made $13,000. It's a rather small account. I only put $50,000 in this. I have multiple accounts. This is just one of them. And here, as you can see, I'm on track to making around 80 to 90% per year on this account. So this was the only trade that I had open going into the election, and this is how I managed it today. So as you can see, overall for the day, I'm up $1,400. So this is super nice to see. Again, if you're new to this channel and you're wondering what the heck is going on, well, first of all, what you're seeing here is a real account. These are real trades. Usually you see much more trades in there, but on this channel, I told everybody I'll be sitting on my hands until we have some more certainty, and I'm true to my word. I'm teaching here, I'm showing you here exactly what I personally do, and I've been trading for a long time, and as you can see, I'm also trading profitably. So if you're new to this channel, say, oh my gosh, I don't know the charts, I don't know the platform, I'll link to a video in the description where you get more information about this strategy. So the wheel strategy is one of the trading strategies that I'm trading. The other one is the PowerX strategy. And the PowerX strategy, for this, I use a tool called PowerX Optimizer that every day filters me or shows me the best 2 to 10 stocks to trade out of thousands and thousands and thousands of stocks. I think it's 10 to 12,000 stocks, somewhere like this. So for today, I had 2 stocks popping up here. But since this morning we still have the uncertainty, I decided not to act on these trades and just wait another day or two until we have more information of who will be the winner. And not only for the president, because that is important, but also who will have, which party will have the majority in the House of Representatives, which right now it seems to be that it is the Democratic Party, and which party will have the majority in the Senate. And right now it appears that this could be the Republican Party. Now, this is what the markets like. The markets like that it's not all controlled by one party, that we have here somewhat a balance of powers. And again, whether you like it or you don't like it doesn't really matter, right? I mean, here as traders, we want to know how do markets react and how do we approach the markets right now so that we can make money regardless of who will be the president, regardless of who has the majority in the House, regardless of who has the majority in the Senate. So I don't know who your candidate is, and usually it does, or it doesn't really matter for me. You see, there are things that I can control, and this is how I am reacting and how I'm adjusting my trading to what is happening. So how much can I influence of what is happening right now in Arizona, in Michigan, in Wisconsin, in Nevada? Zero, right? So if you did your civic duty and voted, that's all you could do at this point. I mean, now we have to see where the cards fall. And you might like it or you might not like it. And you can get all worked up and you can unfriend people on Facebook, or you can get nasty on Facebook, or you just look at an opportunity and say, okay, based on what's happening, how do we as traders react to this? And how do we adjust our trading? So in this where today I took action on this trade that I still had on. I did not enter any new trades just yet. And here's why. Because I still see that there is some uncertainty, and I've just shown you what the markets are doing. So we had these 2 stocks popping up. CEQP, usually a great stock to trade. So let's just see. Here's what we were looking for. So this is a stock that we wanted to short, so betting on a falling market here. And I just want to zoom in so that you see we wanted to enter here, and then we want the stock to go down to the $9 mark. Is this possible here? Absolutely. So it's a good stock that popped up today. However, right now, as of today, I'm still sitting on my hands. Now, we will see how the rest of the day pays out and where we open tomorrow and how markets are reacting. So I'm almost certain I might start trading again tomorrow. Definitely, I'm planning later this week to start trading again and taking positions according to the PowerX Optimizer. The other one that showed up here is Purple. And Purple, oh my gosh, what a wonderful, beautiful stock to trade. I mean, this is definitely one that I would take on any other day because, you know, in addition to PowerX Optimizer showing me the stock, I apply 3 more criteria because I want to see, does this stock have any gaps? Is it a gappy stock? And it is not. Does this stock have, criteria number 2, nice trends to the upside and the downside? And yes, it has. And number 3, do I see a nice P&L chart, a profit and loss chart over the past year? So if I had traded this stock, would I have made some really nice money? And yes, I could have achieved, if I had traded this stock over the past year, according to the rules of the PowerX strategy, 188%. So obviously, this is much better than what I'm making with the wheel strategy, where I'm on track to make 80 to 90%. But again, both strategies are different. And I did a video on this, on comparing these 2 strategies. If you're interested in this, I'll link to it in the description. I think it's called PowerX strategy versus the wheel strategy. So I'll link to this, that you know what to expect with one strategy, what to expect with the other strategy, and which strategy would be great for you. Anyhow, going back here, so we only had two choices. That's great. You see, PowerX Optimizer is doing its job of filtering out the noise of 10,000, 12,000 stocks that we have available to trade here in the United States to only two choices. And out of these two choices, though I have traded CEQP in the past, right now, PRPL would have been my favorite out of these two. Anyhow, so again, what I wanted to do is to show you, and I will take your questions here in just a moment, but I wanted to make sure that I show you, okay, what is happening in the markets? How do the markets react to what's happening? What do they see, right? Do they like what is happening or don't they like it? And again, we're looking where the markets are going into the close right now. Let's just switch back to the NASDAQ here for a moment and seeing it is still rather flat. So as you can see, market participants are waiting. What is happening, right? I mean, what is happening in Wisconsin, in Michigan, in Arizona, in Nevada? What's happening in Alaska? Yes, there are still quite a few states, as you can see, where we don't know yet who will be the winner. We get an idea, but there's still a lot of ballots that need to be counted. I believe mainly absentee ballots or absentee votes, as well as mail-in votes, as far as I know. By the way, the website that I'm using here is from the New York Times. If you would like to see this website, I found it pretty cool. I did not watch any TV last night. So all I did is I kept watching this website. I personally liked it because I don't like the noise of the TV and what's happening, right, and everybody's opinion. I am all about the facts. And as you know, this is what this channel is all about. Facts, right? Because this is my favorite mug. Let me just take a sip of coffee. My favorite mug is trade what you see, not what you think. And again, this is where whether you like the results of the election thus far or whether you will like the final results or not, right? As traders, our job is to react to this and make the best out of it, adjust our trading style. Both my kids, my son Julius and my daughter Vivian, they're both sailors. So they're 17 and 15 years old. My son is 17. My daughter is 15. And there's the saying amongst sailors, you see, you can't change the wind, but you can adjust your sails. What do you think about this? So this is where my kids have a huge poster of this in their room. And I think in general, this is a good life philosophy, isn't it? I mean, you can't change the wind, but you can adjust your sails. Anyhow, one more thing I wanted to tell you. So here is what I personally did last night. Last night, I chose to refinance my house. And you might wonder, why would I even finance my house? I mean, can't I pay it in cash? Absolutely. I mean, I can completely pay off my house just like this. However, last night, I was able to lock in a rate of 2.5% for refinance and refinance and 30-year fixed. 2.5%. So the banks want to basically give me free money. I mean, 2.5% is as good to free money for me as possible. And for me, the question is, will I be able to make at least 2.5% on the cash that the bank is giving me right now? And I know, yes, absolutely, I can do this. So word of caution and warning here. Never trade with borrowed money. I'm doing it because I'm an expert. I'm what they call an expert, right? I've been doing it for a long time. My results are probably not typical. My results are really, really good. Why? Because I've been doing it for a long time. So I think I'm pretty good. But this is where I thought, hey, you know what? If the bank wants to give me free money, hundreds of thousands of dollars for 2.5%, I know how I can turn this into much more. As said, with the wheel strategy, I'm on track to make 80 to 90% a year. With the PowerX strategy, I'm usually between 80 to 100% a year, meaning that I can double it. So yes, why wouldn't I take the money for 2.5%? Anyhow, just a little bit of anecdote of what else is going on in my life, what else I'm doing there. I see that there's a lot of questions coming in here. So if you're live here, I will take a look at the questions right now. I really appreciate you. There's right now almost 400 people watching this live. Now, if you're watching the recording, please leave a comment right below because I'm looking at every single comment. And when you see a reply to a comment, that's me. So I'm replying to all the comments. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you watching this channel. I appreciate you subscribing to the channel. Hint, hint. I appreciate you liking this video right now. And with that said, let's take a look at the comments that we have here. Okay, so good to see everybody here. Jack is asking, any put alerts this week? Jack, I am thinking about issuing some alerts tomorrow or on Friday. Let's see what the markets are doing. If you have been following me, you know that I've been sitting on my hands for a reason, because when you see something like this, I mean, this here is unpredictable behavior. Let's just go back to a daily chart and let's take a look at the NASDAQ. You see, this is pretty unpredictable. This V shape that we have had here, where the markets plummet and now coming back, right? Yes, there are opportunities, but this is where also you can lose a lot of money. And trust me, there are a lot of people who lost a lot of money over the past few days, who even today took the wrong bet, right? Who were betting on the market tanking, and then the markets are rallying. So I have been really, really cautious. I issued an alert today for those of you who are still in the TQQQ trade with me, where now we are making money. Yay. And any new opportunities, I'll start looking for it tomorrow or on Friday. So I cannot promise you that I'll issue anything, but I also cannot promise that I will not issue anything. Making sense? So, however, I will let you know if you have subscribed to the power alerts by phone, by what do we have? Push notifications, by email. Anyway, anyhow. Good. Hey, Peter, so good to see you. Finally can join Coffee with Markus live. Good. Dion from Switzerland. Dion, you're just watching this from a distance of everything that's going on in the United States. I'm just curious. I haven't, as you know, I'm not watching the news, so I haven't looked at how our international partners are reacting to what they're seeing here right now. Okay. So Mr. Peck says, I know that this is not part of the wheel, but could you make a course on rolling? I might. Here is, just to let you know, the next 3 Coffee with Markus, I already decided what I want to do. Number 1, I want to show you how to use TradingView for paper trading, meaning using it as a simulator, because many of you are asking about a simulator, and working on a simulator is super smart. In the beginning, as you gain confidence with a trading strategy, as you learn a strategy, you should practice it on a simulator. So I will show you how to use TradingView as a simulator. That is coming up in one of the next Coffee with Markus. Another thing is, people ask me about short selling. How can I bet on a falling market? And it might be very important coming in the next few weeks, knowing how to take advantage of a falling market. So I will show you how to do this, how you can sell stocks that you don't own, or use put options to bet on a falling market. Number 3, I'll also talk about fractional shares. Some of you have asked, well, what are these fractional shares that my broker is offering right now? So can I really trade 0.1 shares of Apple? So we will talk about this. Anyhow, as you can see, lots of things going on. So if you're new to this channel, click on subscribe and hit the little notification bell, because this way you get notified whenever I release a new video. And if you're interested in any of these upcoming topics, then subscribe. Anyhow. So Dave is asking, what do you think about trading your strategies on the SPY, which has triple expiration days every week? Actually, for the SPX, so not the SPY, but the SPX, which is the cash-settled index. So just very briefly, let me show you. So the SPY is mirroring the S&P 500 index, right? So there's the SPY here. So the SPY is rather inexpensive. And if you're getting assigned, you are getting the SPY ETF. It is an ETF. With the SPX, you can trade option on the SPX, and this is cash settled. Now, this is where I'm trading a strategy together with my mastermind members. And yes, we are taking advantage of the 3 times a week expirations. So we're basically trading spreads here. Really super exciting. Right now, I'm doing this exclusively with my mastermind, so I haven't rolled this strategy out yet. It's a different strategy because you're probably asking, why wouldn't I trade the Power X strategy or the wheel with the SPX? Well, again, for the wheel, I like to have weekly expirations because we need to make sure that we get enough premium. So just to give you a hint, what I'm doing with the SPX, I'm trading debit spreads where I'm buying a call or a put, depending on what the market is doing, and selling one at a higher or at a lower price. I did a video on this of what debit spreads are in general. So we're talking about vertical spreads. I'll link to it in the description, but great question here. But Dave, yeah, right now I'm using a different strategy for this, not the Power X strategy and not the wheel. Good. So SPY is not necessarily too expensive, but I prefer the SPX because it is cash settled. Anyhow, JG wants alerts. Do me a favor, contact the office. Contact the team, call or text 512-337-1885 or send them an email at support@rockwelltrading.com and they can get you set up. So if you would like to have the alert so that you get the trades that I personally take according to the wheel strategy, text or call the office or shoot them an email and they can get you set up here. Okay. Can a sold put be assigned earlier expiration? Eduardo, it's a great question. So it's about early assignment, right? So can it be assigned? Theoretically, yes. Practically, no. I did a video on this. It would be too much to explain right now. I did a video on this and it says risk of assignment. I'll link to it in the description and probably Nicole will link to it in the chat here. So it's called risk of assignment or assignment risk. And this answers your question in a lot of detail. Anyhow, good question. Warrior Woman, do you recommend any Canadian stocks at all? So here's the deal. It's a great question. The question is, let's just talk about international stocks in general. Originally, I'm from Germany. That's the accent that you're hearing. And in the beginning, I just traded German stocks. Now in Germany, at the time when I was still living in Germany, which was 20 years ago, we had mainly 30 stocks in the DAX. So you have 30 stocks to pick from. And that's okay, right? And then you have the Euro stocks, and this is where you have European stocks, and you have more to pick from. And then I looked at US stocks. And in the United States, there are so many stocks. I believe, I'm not quite sure, but I'm almost certain that the United States has most stocks that are publicly traded than anywhere in the world. And think about it this way, Warrior Woman. If you want to have ice cream, if you want to have chocolate ice cream, and you walk to the gas station or the corner store, and you say, hey, I want chocolate ice cream. They say, well, whatever we have in the freezer over there, that's what you can get. And you look at this, you look at the freezer, and that's not exactly what you want. Now think about walking into an ice cream parlor like Baskin Robbins, or here in Austin, we have Amy's Ice Cream or Marble Slab. Any ice cream parlor. And this is where you say, I want chocolate ice cream. And they say, well, what exactly do you want? Do you want chocolate with chips? Do you want chocolate with nuts? Do you want dark chocolate? Do you want white chocolate? You see, this way, you're picking the very best stocks. Now, I looked into Canadian stocks. I looked at the Toronto Stock Exchange. Right now, there's 1,500 stocks that are being traded there. So you might get a good selection. But I believe if you would just focus on Canadian stocks, you are very limited. And there might be days when you have nothing to trade. While in the when you look at US stocks, there's pretty much something to trade every single day. Is this making sense? And I know it's a mind shift because at first I thought, no, I don't know anything about the US companies, so I don't know what they're doing. And here's the great thing. I don't even have to. This is why I'm using indicators. Indicators are telling the story. In fact, I think it was it last year or is it already 2 years ago? Can't remember. I was invited to China. And in China, the stocks have absolutely no names. In China, the stocks only have 3 or 4 or 5 digits. Can't remember. So a stock would be 35782. And I was able to trade these stocks not knowing anything about them by just using the indicators that I like to use for the PowerX strategy, which is RSI, stochastics, and MACD. Anyhow, does this help? Good, good, good. All right. Good. Les asking, what percent of my account goes into the wheel trades? That is really up to you. I did a video on this, again, where I compare the wheel strategy against the PowerX strategy. Take a look at this. So I highly recommend that you take the PowerX strategy to grow your account and that you take the wheel strategy to trade for income. Because you'll see in this video that with the PowerX strategy, you can apply money management, and you're going to love it when you use money management to really grow a small account quickly. You cannot do this with the wheel strategy. So the wheel strategy is more when you're trading for income. The PowerX strategy is when you're trading for growth. If you're not quite sure what the difference is, trading for income versus trading for growth, I did a video on this too. I'll link to it in the description as well. So this way you know what it means trading for income versus trading for growth. Okay, good. So Scott says, try to paper trade PRPL to sell short, and Toss says, stocks not available to borrow. See, this is why I no longer recommend think or swim. And this is why also in the upcoming videos, I'll show you how to use TradingView as a simulator. I know that in the past, I have recommended the think or swim simulator, paper money, and it has been good. But you see, with most brokers, for example, my broker is Tastyworks. And if you want more information about this, I'll link to it in the description. It's rockwelltrading.com/Tastyworks. Anyhow, so I wouldn't have any problems to short PRPL. In fact, let me just show you. If I wanted to do this, if I wanted to PRPL, if I wanted to short this stock, now I can't remember how to short it. I probably would have to trade it there. Short the stock, and I wanted to short, let's say, 1,000 of them. See, I can do this without any problem. See, minus 1,000 shares. So it's not a big deal. And I know that with TOS is, and this is why, Scott, great question here. This is why Tastyworks is not offering a simulator. So I'll show you how to use TradingView as a simulator here. But great question. Okay. So Eduardo says, I was assigned during the night. The put expired on November 6th. Now, November 6th, well, this must have been deep, deep, deep in the money. This would be very, very unusual. Leave me more information in the comments and I can take a look at this. Anyhow. And yeah, Vadim says some stocks are hard to borrow. But you see, this is where when I tested different brokers of how easy or how difficult it is to short stocks. And again, I'll do a video on this. So I will absolutely show you how to sell stocks that you don't own. It's coming up in one of the upcoming Coffee with Markus, probably in the next 2 to 3. Anyhow, I compared 5 brokers and wanted to see how easy or difficult is it. And by the way, if you're interested in this, I'll link to it in the description as well in the chat here. It's called Best Broker 2020, where I checked Interactive Brokers, Tastyworks, Webull, Thinkorswim, and another broker that I can't remember right now. And I compared them. And also one of the criteria is how easy is it to short stocks. Anyhow. Good. So, Alvaro, do you anticipate the VIX to increase if Biden wins? The VIX increases, it's the fear gauge. It increases when there's uncertainty. Will there be uncertainty when Biden wins? I don't know. This is where we are going back to, Alvaro. Trade what you see, not what you think. I can't change the wind, but I can adjust my sails, right? So same in the markets here. I know how to trade any market condition, whether it's going up, down, or sideways. I know how to trade market conditions when the VIX is high. So let's take a look at this, the fear index. Today, it went way down. Why? Because we got some uncertainty out of the markets. Now it's going up again because there is some uncertainty left. But anyhow, I know how to trade when the VIX is high as it was there, when it is low, when it is high like this, or even when it is skyrocketing as it was during the pandemic. And that's the important thing, Alvaro, as a trader. I would recommend that you focus on what is happening and not what could happen, because with this, you'll run yourself crazy. You see, when I traded what I thought, I lost money. This be because markets are irrational. I mean, why did markets jump up? There are some experts today who said, I don't even know, because we still have uncertainty. Why would markets jump up? We don't know, right? Anyhow, so trade what you see, not what you think. Okay, let me go back. Good. And JFlow, yeah, the future is hard to predict. So don't even try. Don't even try. Just adjust to what is happening here. Good. Bronwyn says, love the sailing comment. Good. Vadim got the trade what you see mug yesterday. You're welcome. You're welcome. Good. Okay, if you have a goal of for 5 positions at any one time, can PXO, Powerex Optimizer, accommodate for that in terms of position size? Absolutely. Here's what I recommend. Risk 2% of your account on any given trade. And with this, you can have 5 positions open. Even if all these 5 positions would be a losing trade, well, in this case, you would still only be down 10%. That's nothing. Trust me. People are losing 30, 40, 50% of their account on a single trade. So if you lose 10% on 5 trades, you're absolutely fine. And yes, with Powerex Optimizer, you can actually say what is your account size. So whether it's $20,000 or $100,000, and how much in percent of this do you want to risk? Again, I highly recommend 2%. But when you follow money management, you will be able to risk more as you win more. Again, I did a video on this. I'll link to it in the description. It's on money management. It's really, really good. You should watch it. Anyhow, good. So good to see you. Eduardo received the Powerex strategy book. Okay, fantastic. Yes, we will ship you the book if you want to. You can buy it on Amazon for, I think it's $20 to $25, or you can get it from our website. All I ask is that you pay $4.95 in shipping. And yes, it doesn't matter where in the world you are. I believe it's a flat fee of $4.95, nothing else, right? And I'll be happy to send you the book. Now, if you're not in the United States, it takes a little bit right now with the pandemic going on until you receive the book. But there's also always the option of get it on the Kindle, right? So if you have a Kindle device, or if you have the Kindle app installed on your phone or on your iPad, you can get it. Just go to rockwelltrading.com/Kindle and it'll redirect you to the Kindle version there. Okay, good. All right, Johnny received your Rockwell Trading coffee mug. You're very welcome. Okay, now here's an excellent question from Cairo Dave, I believe. If the order is filled at a different price than the signal price, do we have to calculate the profit target and stop loss on your own? 2 things. You could do it, or if it was only a few cents, you can just not worry about it. If it is a significant difference, yes, then I would recalculate the profit target and stop loss. If it was just a few cents, so let's say, let me go back here to this example. If you wanted to enter PRPL at 26.56 and you got in at 27.50, don't worry about it. You'll be just fine. Okay. Good. Okay, so Ron is asking, might you ever have the Powerex Optimizer make automatic trades for us directly on our broker account without us having to enter it? No, and here's why. I talked about it in the previous Coffee with Markus, but let's address it because I think it's a really, really good question. You see, as traders, we always have the idea, wouldn't it be wonderful if all we needed to do is install a software on our computer, push a button, and money is magically deposited into our trading account? That would be wonderful. It doesn't work this way. See, with Powerex Optimizer is there to help you to execute the strategy. So there are 3 filters. The first filter with PowerX Optimizer is that we are scanning through all United States stocks, the 10, 12, 13,000, don't even know how many there are. It's thousands and thousands, and find the ones that have a buy and a sell signal. And then we apply a second filter, and this is where you apply your criteria. The default are my criteria. So if you want to use the same criteria as I do, great. And this narrows it down from 10,000s and hundreds to, as you can see today, only 2. And when you have the 2, this is, and now I can't remember your name. Anyhow, this is when you as a trader make a decision, right? And this is where you can take the trader out of this. So trading is a business. Trading is a profession. So anybody who tells you, oh, all you need to do is like these EAs, these expert advisors, oh yeah, just let them run. We even provide the computer for you. You don't need to do anything. Who has ever traded EA? You might make money for a little bit, but then they're losing because, I mean, this is where you cannot take the trader out of trading. You can have the computer help you to make the very best decisions, but then eventually you have to make a decision between these 2 or 3 stocks that are still popping up. Okay, good. So it was Ron. Great question here. Good. Warrior woman. I just saw that it's Caroline, right? Do you pronounce Caroline or Caroline? Caroline, I believe, right? Yes, you should get on this. Anyhow. So Annette says, yeah, thank you for the trade. What do you seek? Absolutely. So glad that you're here. You see, for me, it's a good reminder every day to trade what I see, not what I think. If you would like to have a mug like this, we have a store. I mean, I'm not making any money on this mug, maybe 20 cents, but I'll be happy to ship it to you at cost. So go to store.rockwelltrading.com. And we have multiple mugs. We have the trade what you see, not what you think. We have another one. You might like this, follow your plan, right? Because isn't that a good reminder? Follow your plan. And you can only follow your plan if you have a plan. Now, a trading plan has always these 3 elements. It tells you what to trade, when to enter, when to exit. And I did videos on this. So if you're new to this channel and if you enjoyed what you heard thus far, and at some point you might have thought, oh my God, there's so much information going on. Oh my God, we have more than 600 videos on this channel. I'll link to the most important ones pertaining to this episode right here in the description. And Nicole has probably also posted the links here. But make sure that you subscribe to this channel and also feel free to share this video and this channel with by Facebook, Twitter, and email. Anybody who you think might benefit from this information, forward it. Let's spread the good news. Right? And let's see what happens with the election and then how exactly we are going to trade it. So stay tuned. Exciting Coffee with Markus episodes coming up about how to use TradingView as a simulator for paper trading, for practicing, how to short stocks that you don't own, how to bet on a falling market. I believe this will be very important over the next few weeks. And also, what are these fractional shares? So make sure that you subscribe and I will see you in the next Coffee with Markus. Take care, everybody.